Hi everyone, this is Sarah Robinson with Escaping Mediocrity, and today I want to talk about something that, it gets a lot of play, especially on social media, and the topic is relationships. I see so much emphasis. We're supposed to be building relationships. You've got to build relationships, work on your relationships, leverage your relationships. But what I don't see a lot of is, how do you do that? When I first started on social media, feels like 100 years ago, I really didn't know anybody. I had a handful of people that I knew. I remember when I had 40 followers, and I was so excited about that. But what I had going for me was that, since college, really, I have studied how relationships work. What drives them, what encourages them, what kills them, and how they work, particularly in a business environment. Because there's a way that they do work in the business environment that might be a little different than they work outside a business environment. And if I see one thing that holds people back in their businesses, it's not understanding how these relationships work, how business relationships work, how to build strong relationships, how to engage in relationships, and really how to use relationships. I don't like that term, but how to build a community with relationships, because you can only build a community, and you've got to have one if you're an entrepreneur. You've got to have a community that thinks you are awesome and that thinks your business is awesome. You build a community one relationship at a time. And, I see people, particularly on social media, but even via email and Skype and stuff, it happens to me. I see people who come at me. I've never met them. They're asking me for stuff. They want me to support them. And I love supporting other people. But if I don't know them, it's really hard for me to gauge whether I want to support them or not. It would be so much better if they took time to build a relationship with me before they ever asked me for something, or sent me an email asking me for something, or, I had somebody send me, the day my live event ended, I had somebody email me asking me for something for them. I was exhausted. I was spent. If this person had taken just a few minutes to pay attention to the fact that my event had just ended that day, they would know it wasn't a really great time to ask me my name, much less for anything else, because I was so exhausted. So it's knowing how to respond in relationships, how to initiate relationships. It's a very nuanced thing. There are lots of subtleties, and I see so many people just sort of barrel in, charge in, like an elephant. They either do that or they do nothing. They hang back and they don't engage at all because they're afraid of messing it up. They won't engage. Or I see people on social media especially who just, all they do is pump out information. They're not even really there. They're not on Twitter when their stuff goes out, or on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever social media channel they're talking about. They're not there. And so it becomes a one-way communication, and there's no engagement. And if relationships are about anything, it's about engagement. And there are ways to do that, and there are ways not to do that. And so I really want people to have successful relationships. I have been so fortunate in the relationships that I've been able to develop, particularly just over the past year and a few months. The things that have happened to me have all been a direct result of the relationships that I have and that I've built, and that I'm a part of, and the community that I have built around myself, my community of peers, my community of mentors, my tribe that hangs out at Escaping Mediocrity, all the great stuff that people ask me, how did that happen? How did you do that? All of those, every single thing has been a direct result of the relationships that I've built. And so I really want to teach you what I know. And so I've created building meaningful relationships, building meaningful online relationships to do that. It's affectionately called Woofadust. I have to say, I'm really proud of the fact that it's called Woofadust. And I've designed it to give you just down and dirty, straight shooting strategies that you can implement right now to get your relationships either going or making them stronger. All of the things that I know how to do, I've poured into this Woofadust product. It's a series of 4 videos. They don't take an enormous amount of time. I don't have a lot of time, extra time, and I know other entrepreneurs don't either. So I don't have any fluff. I am straight, direct, and to the point in each of the 4 videos, and there are also comprehensive worksheets that go with each video that will help you implement right away. I mean, the only thing between you and implementation is you not filling out the worksheets. And you can do those in a very short amount of time too. This is not a lot of heavy lifting, but the power punch for your business will be huge because you will know how to initiate relationships, how to foster relationships, how to build relationships, how to respond in relationships in a way that will really support what you're up to in the world. And I want those relationships to then grow into a community around what you're up to in the world because you can't do it alone. I read a great quote in a book I just read by the owner of Tom's Shoes, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, I think. He says, a leader starts a company, but a community starts a movement. And so you've got to have a community. Communities start with relationships, and you build that community one relationship at a time. So I encourage you to take a look at building meaningful online relationships. I've got it it is so accessibly priced because that's also really important to me. I want everybody building better relationships. And so, I've got it's priced for anybody who is in business can afford this. And I like it like that. So I really encourage you, if you want your relationships to really be strong and really support what you are up to in a very big way, check out Building Meaningful Online Relationships. I am really, really proud of it. And as always, if you have questions, by all means, leave a comment here, and I will be happy to answer it. And with that, go out and start building great relationships. All right, bye.